And welcome to Sports Weekly on IEMG. I'm your host, Pep Fernandez. In this segment, we're talking some college basketball right out of the gate. San Bernardino Valley College, the men's team, they are undefeated right now in Inland Empire Athletic Conference play. They just took on Victor Valley as they begin the second round of conference action, and they scored 123 points in the win, including 72 points in the second half, which was almost a school record. 77 points in the second half is the school record, so they were very, very close. But they are now 9-0 in the Inland Empire Athletic Conference. Our guy Josh Ali covered the game and comes back with the extended highlights, the remix. Check it out. $123-71, the final score in that one for SBVC. Big win for them. All right, now we're going to show you some highlights of a former SBVC star, Dominique Daniels Jr., who led the Wolverines to consecutive Elite Eight appearances when he played for SBVC. He is now at California Baptist University, and he is having one of the greatest seasons ever, and he set a record this past Saturday. Let's take you out to CBU. They were taking on rival Utah Valley for first place in the Western Athletic Conference. Dominique Daniels Jr. with his team down by 2 hits this basket right here in the final seconds to send it to overtime. And then in overtime, Daniels made a bunch of free throws to give CBU not only the 78-71 victory in overtime, but he also set a new school record with 47 points in the game. So no one has scored more points in a single game at CBU than that guy, the former SBVC Wolverine, Dominique Daniels Jr. All right, Dom, what did this overtime win for you guys, man? You're 47.
It's a great win. You know what I'm saying? Much needed win. At the end of the day, like I said, it's truly a blessing to get the job done at the end of the day. This is a high level of basketball, so you got to be built for it. You got to be able to do certain things to get your team over the hump, and that's what I feel like I did to help my team win tonight.
And a career high 47, you said that's awesome, but at the end of the day, I mean, the win's the most important thing, right? So
yeah, as long as I get the win, you know, I can have 10 points at the end of the day, and we get the win, I'm happy.
All right, great job, Dom. And let's go from some college basketball to college football. Remember this guy? That is Francis Mauigoa, a starting offensive lineman for the Miami Hurricanes. He helped Miami reach the national championship game, and they almost won the whole thing, coming up just a little bit short against Indiana in the finals. But Francis Mauigoa started his football career at Aquinas High School. Look at this. A little throwback to 2019. There is Francis wearing number 61 for the Aquinas Falcons. He and his brother, Francisco Mauigoa, both played for Aquinas. And here's an interview I did with Francis back in 2020. He actually did the interview from his home in American Samoa. And Francis, helped Aquinas win a CIF championship in 2019. He ultimately transferred to a school in Florida and played for Miami. And now he's getting ready for the NFL draft. So not too bad for the former Aquinas Falcon. He talked about the sacrifices he and his family made to get to this point, including leaving his home in American Samoa to move to San Bernardino and play for Aquinas.
Everything led up to this, but it all starts with my family, with my parents. I mean, they sacrificed me going at a very early age by myself to San Bernardino, California, with my brother to play football there, just by ourselves. And then they made another big sacrifice for letting me go to IMG Academy by myself. And, in a Polynesian family, that's very hard, especially at the early age. But it was we all knew it was for the greater good. So I didn't want to let them down, and it all led up to this point. I mean, all the sacrifices we had from, many kids often go out and, I just made the sacrifice to stay in and do my studies and do my work. But, all that sacrifice led up to this point. So I'm very, very glad that I made those sacrifices.
All right, good luck with Francis Mauigoa in the NFL draft this spring. When we come back here on Sports Weekly on IEMG, we catch up with Aquinas basketball star Brooklyn Ross, who's one of the top scorers in the entire state. That's next here on Sports Weekly on IEMG.